Hey, it's Chris, and today we are talking about accessories, the best accessories for the Pixel 3a. But keep watching even if you don't have a Pixel 3a, because this video has things that you can use with your own phone too. It just happens to be that I'm targeting at the Pixel 3a. But if you have an iPhone, then there's definitely a version of the things that I'm talking about for you too. So today we're gonna talk about a few different things. Number one, how to turn this already incredible camera into something even more amazing. We're also going to talk about turning the Pixel 3a into a proper gaming console, because why not? I'm also going to talk about some truly wireless earbuds that are not as expensive as AirPods or some other options that kind of fit into the budget category of the Pixel 3a that I know you're going to love. I was very surprised by them. And just so you know, whatever you're most interested in, I'm going to link all that stuff up down in the description. So check out the timestamps down there if you want to skip around. Before I get any further though, let me mention today's sponsor, ESR, because they made this video possible in the first place. And they've got a really great thin, clear case, which if you know anything about me, that's exactly what I like to stick on my phones. And here's the thing, I like the Pixel's official case. I like the way it looks. I don't really love how it feels. It's sort of like nails on a chalkboard for me, that fabric material. But this feels pretty great. The ESR case is very thin, it's super minimal, it doesn't cover up any of your ports, and importantly, it lets you see through to the actual color of your phone, so it doesn't get covered up. The Pixel 3a is nice and light, and this case keeps it that way. The fingerprint sensor still works great, and that bright Pixel power button is still visible. I really like it, and I'm super glad that they sent this over. I also want to let you know that ESR makes a great screen protector. If you want to check that out, I'm going to link it up down below too. It's capable of withstanding an 11-pound impact, and it's also fingerprint resistant. So actually, I'm going to link that stuff up down in the description along with all the gear, all the accessories that I'm going to be talking about today. So go check it out. It'll make it a little bit easier to buy. And yeah, they're affiliate links. All right, I'm going to go in reverse order today and end with enhancing the Pixel's camera. Let's start out with the Anker Soundcore Liberty Airs. These are those wireless earbuds I was talking about, and really, they are much cheaper than the AirPods, but the sound is still pretty great, and the looks aren't bad either. So why did I pick these particular wireless earbuds instead of anything else? Well, my thinking goes like this. If you're picking up the Pixel 3a, or if you already own it, then you're not wanting to spend a ton of extra money, right? You're not spending $1,000 on a flagship phone. So this is kind of not the flagship earbud experience either, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. So these actually only cost $80, which is half the price of the cheapest new AirPods and the Google Pixel Buds themselves. They come in two different colors. There's black and there's white. And I felt like the white sort of had that AirPod look that I actually like. And honestly, if nobody's really paying attention, then they probably would think that these were AirPods. If you look close, it's obvious that they aren't. But still, it's a good look. One thing that sort of surprised me about these earbuds is that they have pretty decent noise isolation. So if you're out on a crowded street like this and there's traffic around, or maybe you're on the airplane and you kind of want to block out some of that ambient sound, then these are actually going to do a better job, I think, than AirPods themselves would. And that's just thanks to the tips that come with them. But you only get one size. That's maybe one downside. Like with the Powerbeats Pros, you get a few different ones to choose from, and with several other earbuds. With these, you're just stuck with what you get. But honestly, for me, they fit good, and they fit better than the Powerbeats Pros. If you watch my review of those, then you know that those didn't fit me all that well to begin with. So these are much more comfortable, in my opinion. One thing that really surprised me too was how quickly these guys can charge. So when I first took them out of the box, they weren't ready to go. I charged them up for like 15 or 20 minutes, and they were good for the rest of the day, as much as I was gonna use them. You know, a couple of hours, and that's cool. Something else that I really liked is that you get some touch functionality here as well. So if you double tap, you can play or pause, which is great. I mean, you don't want to have to fish around for your phone or something to mess around with that. One thing that you don't get though is the ability to auto play or pause when you take them out or put them in. So that's something that you get on higher end stuff like the AirPods, and it's nice. That's a convenience that is worth paying for, in my opinion, but you can definitely make it without that. Like, it's not gonna be the end of the world. And here, the sound is good enough for the price that maybe it's not a big deal. Compared to the AirPods, I felt like the sound was maybe just a little bit muddled is the right word. Not bad, like don't think bad, just like not quite as good. It didn't shine quite as nicely as it does in my AirPods. You could definitely enjoy what you're listening to in these Anker earbuds. And that's really what matters at the end of the day. So if you're looking to save a little bit of money, but you want something that still looks decent and sounds decent, maybe not top of the line, maybe it's not a Ferrari or even a BMW, but it's a good Honda or something, right? Toyota, that's these earbuds. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is a game controller for your Pixel, because one of the things that people use their phone for the most is for gaming. So it just makes sense to try to take that to the next level. Maybe you don't own a Switch also, for instance, but you still want to get your gaming in. Well, here you can do that, and it's fully portable. It's a great combination. So this is the Rotor Riot controller for Android, which is kind of a weird name, I admit, but it's also a drone controller. So if you're looking to kill those two birds with one stone, there you go. I was actually gonna originally buy the Game Vice controller for the Pixel because I liked the look of it, but it was sold out everywhere. Well, that actually kind of ended up working out because this Rotor Riot that I ended up getting is $30 cheaper than the Game Vice. And you know what? I'm not disappointed. It still works great. The one thing is, I don't think it looks quite as nice as the Game Vice controller does, but I can't say I'm disappointed with the performance. Like, it really does work very well. And let's be honest, the main thing that I wanted this for was just for Fortnite, right? There's an app that has a bunch of different apps that are compatible with this, some games that you can play, and looking over that list, the main thing that I wanted was Fortnite. It was there, and it worked. I saw some reviews on Amazon that were saying it didn't work for them without all these updates and stuff. That wasn't the case for me. It worked perfectly the very first time that I tried it out. As soon as I plugged it in and loaded up Fortnite, Fortnite screen changed and it showed what buttons were gonna do what. So it mapped the controller to the game immediately. The actual funny thing though is that I think I'm much better at Fortnite without a controller because I'm so used to just playing on the screen itself. So I thought that this actually did look a little bit like an Xbox controller. That's probably the point, partially. I will say it feels a little bit cheaper though than the Xbox controller. It's definitely not like a luxury good. But that being said, I think it's gonna hold up if you treat it well. One thing that's so nice about this controller is that it's wired, which means if you're really into gaming and you're competitive, you wanna play multiplayer, there's not gonna be any lag because of some wireless connection. So you just plug it in, it's the USB-C version. And again, if you're an iPhone user, there is an iPhone version, it's just not USB-C, it's Lightning. Something else that's kind of cool is that it has a holder that comes with it for your device. So you can just mount the Pixel right up there, and then it has a cord wrap on the back, so you don't have to have your cord hanging off. You can just wrap it up and then plug it in. One thing I will mention though is that while I was playing around with Fortnite, actually somebody else was playing it, testing this for me, then one of the controllers sort of gave out for a little bit. I think it was the right stick, and it lasted for like 30 or 40 seconds. I don't know what happened, how we got it working again, but it did snap back, so it wasn't permanent. I don't know what caused it. It could have been the game, it could have been the internet, it could have been the controller, I don't know. Next up, and maybe this is the big ticket item for this video, it's something that I've talked about before, but it makes all the sense in the world to talk about it right now in this particular video, and that is some Moment lenses that you can buy for your Pixel. They got a Pixel case, they got a Pixel 3a case. It fits perfectly. It's not my favorite look, honestly, the Moment cases, but that's okay because what it allows you to do is amazing. And right now I own one of every kind of Moment lens, and they all come in very handy for different situations. My favorite lens is probably the wide angle lens because fitting more is never a bad thing when you're taking a picture, when you're taking a video too. But look, the Pixel 3a is a great camera. It's the nicest feature of this phone, the camera, really. And there's only one way that you can really make it nicer, and that's by adding some extra awesome additional lenses. Now, I've been using Moment lenses for a long time with my iPhones, so it is a no-brainer for me to try these out with the Pixel, right? Which so many people love and claim is one of the best cameras that you can get on a phone. But why Moment lenses? I mean, there's so many lenses, and this is one thing that I'm mentioning in this video that isn't in the budget category, right? Moment lenses are priced pretty premiumly, is that a word? They have a premium to the price. There's a reason for that. You don't have like weird edges around your photos. Some other lenses will give you like some distortion there, maybe especially around the corners. You don't get that with these nice moment lenses, but you do with cheaper lenses. There's also no vignetting, which you don't want that. That doesn't make anything look professional. If you have this camera and you want to take really nice professional looking photos, then you don't want that vignetting, right? And if you do, you can just add it in post, right? You can edit that in, but you don't want to start with it. I feel like the telephoto is nice and you can get some blur in your background if you're using that, maybe more than the wide angle. So that's pretty cool too. The anamorphic obviously is great for video, and the Pixel takes pretty good video. I feel like the iPhone is still the video king. So if you're really getting into video and you are gonna invest in these kind of lenses, maybe you should look at an iPhone. Actually, even the iPhone XR is great for that. But yeah, for photo stuff, you know, a lot of people are actually getting into anamorphic photos. That's like a thing. You can look those up, and that's pretty cool. If you want those lens flares that look kind of sci-fi, or if you just want to fit a little bit more into your picture in a different way than the wide angle does, then yeah, you could give the anamorphic a look too. I mean, at the end of the day, to own the Pixel 3a is to own a really awesome camera. So in investing in these lenses, there's something that you can switch from phone to phone. Like if you're gonna pick this up, the Pixel 3a, and get a different phone in a year or two, you're still gonna be able to use these moment lenses. It's a great investment. Maybe you don't feel like that attached to your phone because you hop around and you're gonna try something else out, but these lenses can stick with you for a long time and live past this one phone investment. So absolutely, positively worth it if you wanna get more out of this camera, this phone, and your next future phone. That's why I put in some really great lenses instead of some really cheap lenses. Just to make everybody happy, I will link up some cheaper lenses down in the description too, that at least I feel like these are the ones I would buy if I were looking into some cheaper non-moment lenses. I'll put those down below too for you guys. So yeah, that really is gonna do it for this particular video. If you guys have any questions, be sure to let me know. I'll hang out down in the comments for at least a little bit the first couple of days. Also, I would love to know which of these accessories is your favorite and if I miss anything. To me, these are the best accessories for the Pixel 3a. If I have a Pixel 3a, I want it to be the best Pixel 3a experience. These are the accessories that I'm buying. But everybody's different. Like, what would you buy? I want to know about that too. Absolutely, positively, don't forget that you can follow @DailyTech, spelled Daily Tekk, on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Later.